Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The Ludwig Tarek Invitational number 2 is officially underway, and a massive set of surprising results yesterday with big upsets. The tier 1 teams going down, emphatically so, to some of the top tier 2 competition, and a Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves elimination game in the very first round of the losers bracket going down yesterday. 100T eliminated in last place from their very first tournament as a team. Is this a sign of things to come for the roster? Very much interested your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into. Firstly, a few roster things to dive into. Titan Esports Club confirm RB is joining those guys. We saw yesterday that, DRX announced his departure from the organization. Wonder if the similar thing will happen to Zest in the near future, whether they actually are getting King, or exactly what the future of DRX is going to look like, because there's been questions on how good that team is going to be. RB was a very solid player for these guys, but I think it's kind of cool to see him go there over to the Chinese region, of course. There's also this, I still don't know where to begin trying to pronounce this guy's name. People just call him Alphabet Man, right? Which is what I'm going to continue to do. But he's joining Tai Lu, so that's pretty cool as well. So a few updates, of course. The Chinese VCT starts, a pretty similar time, of course, understandably, to all the other regions. But just because Ascension is finished over there and there's a few things still changing, and it's only just happened that the teams have been confirmed into franchising, there's still lots of roster action in that region that is pretty much now settled down in the rest of the world, especially in the Americas, where we're only really waiting for EG to confirm exactly what they're going to be doing. But we've seen some rumours on that over the last few days, of course, with Jorgamo staying, and then Derek and Superman potentially joining as well, with a couple of others. Apoth and Nature were rumoured. We're not 100% sure if that is going to be true when they announce their roster. There's also this coming soon, this kind of outlaw influencer challenge, which I thought was kind of cool to see Kenny S involved in. Always pretty cool to see stuff like this, crossovers across different parts and periods, I suppose, of esports. But yeah, Monday, January the 15th, that's happening tomorrow. But we've got to talk about, of course, what happened yesterday, which is this Ludwig Tarek Invitational. Just before we get to that, there were some rumours coming out of Owner the Great. You guys might remember this guy when he was chiefly in charge of the, now he's part of, Casa Esports or whatever, like Casemiro's team. But he was, of course, a Crew Esports coach for some time, kind of a controversial figure in some sense. But actually he reveals that he nearly, back in 2021, managed to sign Aspas to Crew, which would have been pretty crazy, right, given what Aspas has been over the last couple of years for Loud, and now he's on Lev. So yeah, the idea that Aspas nearly went to Crew and then never quite happens, that potentially would have changed the trajectory of South American and Brazilian esports for quite some way. But let's talk about one of the final relatively big off-season tournaments here before going into the new season in the Americas side. We expected, to be honest, I expected Sentinels to play in this one. Didn't happen in the end. They decided not to. Maybe that was a wise decision, because we did have two teams from the Americas Pro League coming in here to actually play against two of the top Challengers teams in the top part of Ascension Challenge, as well, if you want to call it, in Moist Chobafai, which of course is Ludwig's team, and then Oxygen Esports, which features Dapper, and is honestly a very good team in its own right. But on paper, Cloud9 and Thieves should be, I would say, top 5, top 6 teams in the Americas League. So they should come in and get the job done against teams that are, very good, but still at the top of Ascension. That was not what we saw in yesterday's series. As I said, if you had to predict a winner, I'd have said Cloud9. But if you had to, I definitely thought that in one of the series between Cloud9 and, Moist, and then 100T and Oxygen, there was going to be an upset there. But I definitely didn't expect both series to go in an upset manner. So just have a look at the numbers here, right? Cloud9 played Moist Chobafai. First series, really, in some time. But also for Cloud9, it's not like they have just formed a team. 100T, you can almost have a couple of excuses for, because they've only just started playing as a team. And even then, though, is that even true? Because Boostio, sure, he's only just arrived in the compounds. I've only been grinding as a team for the last few days. But nonetheless, Boostio has been known to be joining Thieves for a very long time now. And I believe they were probably practicing with him remotely for a longer time than that. So maybe there aren't excuses either way. But Cloud9 have been a team for some time. And look, so have Moist Chobafai. But Cloud9 should come in here and get the job done. They didn't. The Icebox was 13-10, of course. Now it's back into the map pool. And then Ascent was 13-8. Not even massively competitive here. I really like this Moist Shopify team, no doubt. But yeah, Cloud9 should be winning a series like this. They don't. They go down to the losers bracket. And joining them in losers is not Oxygen Esports, but it's actually 100 Thieves. So both of the teams, and it also makes me kind of, frustrated in a way, the way that the challenger scene has gone, because the Americas is so stacked for the talent. So are the other other regions, but I think the Americas especially, like the amount of talent in the top end of the league and also in the top end of tier 2 is just insanely strong. And just the way the league is structured, okay, it's not a franchising model, but we don't get to see enough of the tier 2 teams playing the tier 1 teams. We don't have any sort of promotion relegation, which would be really nice to see because there's so much talent out there and, you know, a lot of talent that was previously in the league. I actually really like this Oxygen team. I know that Moist Shopify are good, but I think this team has so much potential for improvement as well. I really like this Oxygen roster, honestly. I know they did lose the next series they played. We'll see in a second here, but, you know, I think obviously Dapper's solid, Mitch is solid, and then Redux, Verno, Scuba are just really, really good. So, yeah, I mean, they 2-0'd Thieves, and it wasn't even close again. 13-7 and 14-12. Okay, the Ascent went to an overtime, but, I mean, it wasn't even that competitive, really. Boostio, expected to be the IGL, not to do anything crazy, has the most ACS, and is holding his own. The other guys get kind of slammed here. I mean, Bang especially didn't have a good time on the smokes. And as Dapper says, 2-0-100T feeling slightly back. So what do you guys think about, well, these teams in general? Now, Oxygen, of course, then went on to play Moist Shopify close series. Eventually, it was a 2-1 here. Marder had a great series to get them over the line. Split went Oxygen's way 13-4, and then the Lotus was 15-13, 14-12. So a crazy couple of overtimes that Moist Shopify win. But, you know, that could be a very different story come the finals, depending what happens between Oxygen and Cloud9, because, well, as we'll see in a second, there was then an elimination game. Now, as Ethan says, you know, Mickey Mouse tournament, it's not the Pro League. They're here for practice at the end of the day. But, you know, you've practiced for a few weeks, you've got your scrims in, you want to come to a tournament like this and win, you know? You want to come in there, show some authority, prove that you're kind of the real deal and that your team is making good decisions and you're not just getting beaten by challenger teams. Very good challenger teams, but nonetheless, teams that aren't even in the Pro League. So, yeah, Ethan was just licking his lips on the prospect of a Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves elimination game. Like, I expected a Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves elimination game. I did not expect it in the very first round of losers. Like, literally, the team that lost this is out in last place of a 4-team tournament with 2 challenger teams. Like, it's pretty absurd, right? So, yeah, beautiful Saturday afternoon, windows open, breeze flowing it through the living room, and as Som says, you know, I can't wait for NRG to play, you know, Donut Shop, he says, so he's looking forward to NRG playing so they can get a similar treatment. Who knows? NRG, they haven't been looking great in scrims over the last few days, according to rumours. If they went to this tournament, would they had a similar time to Cloud9 100T? I don't know. But, yeah, for now, it's, well, obviously, if you don't play the tournaments, you don't get roasted for the tournament. So I'll just share a little moment here from the stream. It's not the best quality, unfortunately, but it's the best I could kind of find on, well, as this Cloud9 100T series concludes.
Scary.
Yeah, they're gonna have they have 3 here already. It's a good delay.
Okay, this flank is cooking.
Oh my god, it's huge. Are they gonna be looking for this?
He gets 2. They don't know about the second still. Zepp is right.
Oh, he's so hurt.
Did you hear that? You must have, right?
Yeah, I heard it.
Such good micro. But he loses the fight.
Nah.
CB3.
This is the way.
30
And now
seconds left.
one off
One
the
off
wall.
pit. If he plants, he gets it.
How the hell does he plant? 20 seconds. Another flank.
If he walks around this corner with Boostio, they can take the 1v1 against the guy on site and then get plant.
Last player.
Oh, but he
That was
needed
the
to
kill of the
win
round.
it.
That was the kill of the round.
1v3.
It was all.
10 seconds left.
Cloud9 in overtime.
Oh my
So
god.
some more overtimes here going down, but in the end, on the final map of the series Icebox, it's Cloud9 to get the victory. You know, they both played okay, and Oxy, I mean, yeah, he is the stand-up player for this team, I thought. 100T definitely had a good chance in this, right? 13-11 game 1, 13-11 the other way game 2, and then this ridiculous overtime that eventually 100T go down on. So incredibly close series, and I wouldn't really be surprised. Like, I think Cloud9 and 100T are very closely matched on paper. I think Cloud9, for now, are probably the stronger team. In a few months' time, I would quite possibly expect 100 Thieves to be the stronger team of the two. But sure, just because they're kind of similarly weighted teams does not mean they're actually better than Moist Shopify or Oxygen, on current evidence at least. So 100T, close fought series, absolutely, but they go down to Cloud9, last place in the tournament. GG to them, lots of practice to do, says Boostio. But I promise you we'll be ready for when the Americas League starts. So I still think they'll improve. I think Boostio is going to be a good addition to this roster. And, you know, but how good can they be? Like, I'm not expecting them to be an absolute top team in the Americas. But we'll see, right? And the Sentinel say new roster, same 100 team, because they've not had the greatest results for the last couple of years, and this was, you know, one of the performances the 100 team have been delivering for the last couple of years. So maybe is it a sign of things to come? I still think it's a little bit too early to say, and at the end of the day, it is a bit of a Mickey Mouse tournament. And as Asuna says, you know, lost both best of threes, which is, you know, not really pretty for them. But Zix does say, of course, the new head coach of the roster comes from Evil Geniuses. All good, just the beginning. Good experience for these guys to see how it feels playing on stage. Trust the process. We will be insane for VCT. So, yeah, I mean, quite the statement, right? Reckons that they're going to be really good by the time the VCT comes around. They have a little bit of time to prepare now, and it's still early days for this roster, but not the result you wanted, right? Losing this tournament is not the end of the world, but losing in the manner they did when you're struggling to beat a challenger team and then losing to Cloud9 is really not the result they would have been looking for. But good experience, good maps they played. This is the way that it currently stands then. So Moist Chummer fight in the grand finals, Oxygen Cloud9 play today to determine who goes through to the finals. And sure, like, you'd say that Cloud9 on paper are going to win this one, but I don't know. On the evidence that I saw, I think Oxygen Esports, I'm taking them. I'm taking an all kind of challenger team grand finals at this point, because it's funny, right? My prediction initially was Cloud9 100 these finals. We got that here. So I guess, you know, as a result, I've got to completely flip the script to go the other way around. So, you know, intrigued to your thoughts on this in the comment section below. And as NRG Chet says to Cryptus, who says, look, tier 2 players really talented. Hopefully Val does something to help the tier 2 scene somewhat. Chet doesn't expect too many changes on that one, which would be a bit of a shame if it happens, because, you know, these leagues are just so strong and have so much strength in depth. But, you know, that's the world we currently live in. So very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Thought this was kind of cool as well. Players who stepped up late in the game here from Willminder. Most average kills in round 20 onwards. So kills per round once it gets to round 20. So like when, you know, push comes to shove, who delivers the goods? Actually, Depp here tops the ranking of Zeta. Then Durka, Demon, Wang Jing, Shados actually here as well. So some interesting names it's got to be still on this list. Even Cryo gets himself on here from that 100 Thieves watcher, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, certain players that maybe have the ice more so than others do. But hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.